Welcome back to episode 6 of the 2K Robinhood Options Trading Challenge. In this series, we started a Robinhood account with 2K, and we are trying to grow that account to 3K as quickly as possible. The rules are simple, options only. That means no stock positions allowed. And in this video, we are going to cover all the trades that were made during the week of September 12th and see how much we were able to profit. So before we get into that, if you haven't already, go down below, hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. Overall, this was a very tough week in the market. The market started at a high point, and what we saw happening, or what we thought was going to happen, is we thought that this center of the Bollinger Band was going to act as support, right? There's some resistance and support in here, and we kind of assumed that, okay, hey, the market's in a good spot. It looks like it's going to bounce kind of back up to the upside, to these kind of highs that we saw, a month or so ago. And that did not happen. That did not happen at all this week. The market actually used that as resistance and bounced to the downside off of that and bounced all the way back down to where the Bollinger Band was at. What would have been smart to do, right, is to basically wait and let the market establish a trend and wait for, this downward move and then place trades down below this lower Bollinger Band. But instead, we are trying to be aggressive, trying to grow the account. And we placed a trade last Friday, so kind of right in here, 9.9. And then the market on Monday, reacted to the upside, had a little bit of, strength there. And then after that, it kind of just fell through the floor is basically what happened. And it kept falling through the floor through the end of the week after, some poor earnings from FedEx. So let's go ahead and get into the trades that we made over this past week. The first trade that we made was on September 9th, and we went all the way out to September 16th. And the plan here, and what we've discussed in previous videos, is trying to go further out in time so we can get a little further out in the money. And we were able to get all the way down here at 387, 386, and able to get a fill for $8. The problem here in the thought process was, okay, if the market even does react to the downside, we should be safe at this point. And that ended up not being true. Trade number 2 we made on Tuesday of this week. So Monday we had a little bit of an upward move, so it wasn't great for putting on put credit spreads. Tuesday we actually had a downward move, and this gave us a good opportunity to get into some more put credit spreads for Friday. We were able to come all the way down here to 383, 382 and collect around $7 of premium. And overall, this trade would have played out really nicely. However, on Friday we had a huge amount of volatility, and the volatility stayed high throughout the day. And Robinhood has a closeout process of closing out trades at 2 p.m. if they're worried that it could, basically end up in a large loss. So what they did is they closed out this trade early for $13. So a $6 loss on this trade overall. The third trade of the week we made on Wednesday, and we were looking at the market, again, seeing some of these downward moves. Wednesday was more of a, level day, but overall from the huge downward move that we had on Tuesday, we kind of felt like, we needed to trade and kind of recover a little bit. So we came down here all the way down to 380, I believe it was, and 379. And there we were able to collect $7 of premium again just for Friday. And what we thought about doing with this trade is we thought about putting in for 2. Because this trade, and we really should have, because this was the one trade that we actually won this week. Because again, that last trade got closed out early and the first trade just got blown through. So overall, we should have gone with 2 contracts, but we end up only putting 1 in. I was worried about more volatility, right? The market had gone down so much, and it did end up going down more. We would have been safe in this position because we were so far out of the money. But overall, I just felt like, 1 contract was the safe way to play it, and, kind of just live for another day. That's kind of how we approach this week is, just play safe, play simple, and, hopefully don't get hurt too bad. For complete transparency, I wanted to show you this trade. So this is me closing out one of the spreads. This was the trade that was blown through on Friday, and we were able to close it out for actually $74, which personally I felt like was a great deal for me because, right, it was blown all the way through. There was no recovering it. It had gone down so much, and we were still able to keep $25. So here's where we are tracking all of our trades, and we had week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and we can go all the way down to where we're at week 6, and we only made 5 trades this week. Overall, I'm not disappointed with that. There was a lot of weird volatility in the market this week, and I think keeping it simple and not over trading this week was actually a huge benefit to us and ended up, saving us probably quite a bit of money this week. So here we have, the first trade that we made. So we made the trade for $8, and overall, again, we had to close it for $74. not super disappointed with that because, again, we closed the trade on Friday after we had been blown through by the market, and we were still able to, keep $26 on this trade. We did not incur a max loss of $100. So overall, looking at the positive there, here again was Robinhood being stupid. So we traded and we put in the trade and got filled for $7, but we got closed out on Friday again because of the volatility. At 2 p.m. Robinhood closes out your trade if they're worried about it basically getting blown through, and they didn't like this trade, so they closed it out and we ended up getting a $6 loss here. And then the last trade, again, this was made on Wednesday, and we were able to collect $7 in total, and that ended up being our only winner of the week, sadly. So overall, you're going to have these weeks. We've gone very back and forth with the volatility. So up here we could see week 1 we actually had a positive week, week 2 we had a negative week 3 positive week 4 negative week 5 positive week 6 negative week. And overall they are getting, kind of higher in totals is what we're seeing. So hopefully we have another positive week next week, and maybe we can get, around $70-$80 in premium collected next week. That would be huge. Overall in the account though, we are only down $44 in terms of our spreads. So what we'll see on the Robinhood account is that it's actually quite a bit more down than only $44. We are down a lot more than that. And that is due to basically these two trades. So we put on that Google debit spread and that SoFi debit spread. The SoFi debit spread has actually held up very well, but the Google debit spread, Google has dropped all the way down to a 52-week low of around $102. And I personally have actually been adding shares in my long-term account, but here obviously that hurts us quite a bit. So we are down a lot on this trade. I believe this is down to around $40 if I remember right. So we are down, quite a bit on this trade, around $70. And overall, I've actually considered going back in and trading another debit spread on Google because it's at a 52-week low. That presents a good opportunity to potentially play some more to the upside. So we'll see if I end up pulling the trigger on that trade. But let's go ahead and actually jump into the Robinhood account. So here we have the Robinhood account, and you can see we went from around $2,000 all the way down to $1,876. And that is almost $140 loss just in this past week. So, right, we're all the way down almost 7%, which, hurts quite a bit. Throughout the week, we kind of just bled off, as the market kind of tanked and, experienced a lot of the volatility with, again, FedEx reporting some, poor guidance and earnings. And overall, really our biggest loss, right? We were sitting, here on Thursday, not looking too bad, right? In the middle of the day, we got up all the way to $1,967. And then on Friday, right, the market just fell through the floor, and that really hurt us, right? With that one spread having to close it out for $74. And then the Google and SoFi debit spreads that you see over here, those obviously are in bad position. So again, the SoFi has held up very well. You can see it's at $53 still in premium, and that's because it's so far in the money, which was, overall a good trade for us. And what we could do is, do something similar like that with Google, do a little bit more out in time, probably even than the SoFi trade at this point. But Google has fallen all the way down, as I mentioned, to $40. So that is hurting us quite a bit, right? If we recouped just that $70, we'd be all the way back up at $1,950 and, be in a lot better position overall. So overall, I'm fully transparent with these videos. This is going to happen in the market. You're going to have weeks where you go down and where you have a really tough week. And this was overall, a tough week. The market did go down quite a bit. I think we were down around 5%, if I remember right, in the S&P 500. And, to be down 7% trading a lot more volatility, a lot more volatile strategy, it doesn't feel, too bad. And that's why this account is so small, right? It's only 2K because I'm comfortable, even if I lose all the 2K, it is what it is. I'm not overly worried about it. I want to learn from this and, grow as a trader. And that's what this is mainly about. So I hope you appreciate that. I hope you appreciate the transparency. If you do, let me know down in the comment section. I really appreciate all the positive comments. And then, yeah, other than that, if you like the video, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day.